All right, Delta Stewardship Council is called to order, starting with Mr. Nordhoff. Let's establish a quorum. Mr. Nordhoff.
Fiorini here.
Eisenberg here.
Totally here.
Okay, full council is present and available. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into the business of the day a bit later. I'd like to note that our ledge report will not be delivered by Ms. Pearson today. She's home ill, which irritates her immensely since she was emailing around to everybody all day yesterday and complaining about not being able to be here. But rather than go through her report on legislation, I'd just like to call your attention to it, which is item number 4. There are a large number of bills that raise interesting issues. We can discuss them later. The progress on each of the bills is noted. We've taken a position on one bill already. That was the Senator Wolk's bill as amended. So, let's see, just one other thing. Yesterday I was talking to a reporter who said, "What's all going on?" You know, kind of an open-ended question. And I said, "Well, there's a lot going on." And he said, "Well, yeah, but make sense of all of this." And I actually was thinking about all the processes that are underway dealing with water and the Delta and so on. And we tend to concentrate only on ours and ignore the other things that are going on. And there's a lot. And it's probably worth noting that in the middle of 2012, the Central Valley Flood Board adopted their skeleton outline of the flood plan for the Central Valley, which includes a portion of the Delta, but only a portion of the Delta, about 1/3 of the Delta. We're probably next out of the box if we're successful today in moving the plan. And after us, I think the next entity that's going to conclude it is the Water Board standards on the San Joaquin River. And of course, as soon as they complete that, they're moving to look at what becomes Sacramento River and Delta flow issues. BDCP announced, I guess it was last week, that a draft plan and a draft environmental document would be available. Mr. Knott, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was either October or November of this year. They have been releasing many drafts of drafts since, and so that is their current scheduled deadline. In addition, the Department of Water Resources started in early this month with what they call their state water project contract extension process. And as we all know, there are I think 29 contractors in the state water project. The contracts expire at the earliest at 2035, the latest 2042. This starts the process to amend, modify, extend that. There is a full website available in the Department of Water Resources website to follow the activity. And as a result of litigation and a settlement, the process on the State Water Project contract extensions is required to be open and transparent, which is important. Then, I guess the last thing, and we've talked about this before, the Department of Water Resources and federal agencies requested a delay in the effectiveness of in the enforcement of the biological opinions. These are the ones that Judge Wanger had struck down a portion of the biological opinions on salmon and smelt, but he allowed other provisions to stand. This delays for a 1-year period enforcement of those other provisions. But in the meantime, the understanding is the federal and state agencies will be developing an adaptive management plan for the biological opinions. So, and that's just a start. I understand there are many other internal elements. Our Delta Science Plan is under development. Everything relates to one another, but they are, in many cases, separate proceedings. But I personally think this is kind of California stumbling into a coherent and comprehensive approach to water, a modern approach to water and environmental protection. So that's just it was useful to think about all the other things that are going on, major things that are going on as process. So That's all I've got to report, except the governor's May revision came out a few days ago, May revision to the budget, and there were no significant changes that affect the Stewardship Council that I saw in the documents at all. So going on from there, the executive officer's report, Mr. Knopf. I know this is not item 6 yet. This is item number 4.
Well, item number 4, I would propose that we move past the executive officer's report this morning in the interest of time and proceed to reviewing the minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay, good idea. Members,